Okay, time for a quick change and time for a demonstration. So the screen you can see is our logon for Access Evo, which is our navigation and command center for all things Access. And that includes Evo IM, that's Evo Income Management. Let me log on and show you some of the fundamental features within Evo itself and the way you can share data between that platform, utilizing and realizing the tools within, and also some of the core AI functionality. And we're on. So this is the command center or your navigation center, where all things income management and all things comms, all things management information, all things automation and workflow, all things AI live, including the ability to log directly onto your income management system without having to use the traditional username and password route, because it utilizes single sign-on with federated access from your own logon from your own environment, making it very secure. So let's look at the products that are available. Let's look at income management to start off with. This screen you'll be very, very familiar with, income management. So using this, there is no change, no retraining for your staff, no new system to learn. So we click on payments and accounts, and we're going to take a payment for a miscellaneous item. It's a telephone call, so we're going to make this as secure as possible. The customer is asking for a wheelie bin replacement. So we select them and build up the ledger code in the background. Username and address from your council tax balance file in this instance. Select the customer's detail and update, then add that to the shopping cart. So nothing's changed there, all very simple. What is going to change is after the payment process itself. Let's secure the transaction by using ClickPay. I'm going to send out a digital link directly to the customer. And once that's received, the member of staff gets an indication of that on screen. So the link has been accessed. This is what that screen would look like. Once they can see that the customer's reached this screen, we'll be able to ask them to press the Pay Now button, and they can now tell when the customer is up to paying. And once again, the screen for paying is the secure card portal. So the customer will be able to select their preferred method of payment. In that instance, Apple Pay, so friction-free, probably the fastest way to make a payment, along with things like open banking, where it's one click and it is biometric verification on the phone itself, completes the transaction. The important thing is, as well as the transactional and payment detail that's been recorded at this point for this service-based item, I know local authorities are scaling up the services that they provide their residents now, especially through local government restructure. Those services could now be facilitated without having to go out and buy specialist apps to be able to do this. So I'm going to return to Evo, and it's aware that the payment has been made for a wheelie bin. As you can see, I've got an action required, organize wheelie bin delivery. That will also be in my feed. Wheelie bin item delivery workflow is started. So either of these two action points allow me to carry on the workflow itself to deliver the service to the customer. And that could be, I'm going to complete it myself because I started the workflow, or that could be fired off over to another user of the system as an alert or an action or something on their feed to finish the actual transactional journey. The customer paid £45. I will view that. Now I can complete the delivery, which is why I would probably want to do it if I've got the customer on the phone, by selecting the time, scheduling the delivery, and done. So that's now complete. The wheelie bin delivery has been scheduled. And if we look at comms, because this is all fully integrated using workflow, I've got an email to the logistics department asking them to deliver the service. And all of that is facilitated by the Evo wrapper in the background that's monitoring all of the activity within the income management system. So rather than technically waiting for an end of day process and files to be transferred or expensive integration to line of business systems and APIs and endpoints. We've done the whole lot from this single application when the payment was taken. It doesn't matter where the payment was taken. So that could have been self-service online, over the phone. It could have even been triggered by someone going to their own bank, making a payment at the bank, and then that being imported into the income management system. By automating that workflow and using the intelligence within the Evo income management platform, it is quite astounding on how this system can automate processes. So I've done that. I'm going to resend the email and complete that transaction. So in addition to that, I work in finance. I know I've got to, based on an action that's required, and it's starting to get bumped down my actions at the moment because I've been doing other work. I need to create a full Q4 income report for Cabinet. Now, the majority of that, historically, I would have had to go to multiple line of business systems, get reports, interfaces, Excel spreadsheets, possibly support from IT as well. But now what I'll be able to do, if I check either my feed, all my actions required, or importantly, if I look at Evo Copilot, Copilot's my AI engine in the background, and I check, I know I've got a report to create. I can't quite remember what that is. Through automated workflow in the background and looking at the data as it lands in the income management system, Evo Copilot already knows that I've got a 96.2 achievement against a 96% target, and arrears are down 4% on last quarter. Shall I open the full Q4 income report for Cabinet? So absolutely, yes, I'd like you to do that because it's going to save me a whole heap of time. So what that'll do, go away and generate based on the data in the analytics within the income management platform and present that to me on screen live from the management information and reports that I've selected through workflow and the data engine that are going to be presented to me automatically based on triggers. And I'm just going to email that to my colleagues and send as an attached PDF file. So once again, I've probably saved another hour in time. And this is all about giving time back to you to be more efficient and deliver a better service to both your colleagues and your customers. So that's great. I've also got a feed item showing me that the Q4 income report has been generated, and I can go back in and view that at any time. Right, sit back, get myself a coffee or a drink of Ribena, which is my usual daily drink. I now know I've got to work on those outstanding exceptions that's highlighted in red. So I can get to that a number of different ways. I can just click on the action, or what I could do once again is go back to my Copilot, basically my assistant, and I'm going to start a new conversation. But what I'd like to use, because this is specialist, is the income management exceptions skill. And it's giving me some choices on screen. Show me my unresolved exceptions. If I have some, let me know what they are. So that goes off to your exceptions batch holding file, and will show you all of the batches that are outstanding with exceptions at the moment. And I would like to work on batch 925. So if I just, because it understands plain, simple and clear language. And what that'll do is drill down into that batch and give you the line item detail of the exceptions that have been held because they don't meet the validation requirements within your line of business systems that are all coded within your income management system. So I can have a look down there at the individual transactions, and if based on the AI built suggestions, and that looks at your entire transaction history, validation rules within each fund, and what you've done historically, and give you some core based suggestions to speed up your day. So rather than you having to call either a colleague or another department to try and identify exactly which fund this should go to, the AI solution should be able to work that out for you with a very, very high level of confidence. If I once again, using simple language, tell the system what to do. And what I'm going to do is tell it I want suggestion number 3 to be applied to transaction number 1. So please clear transaction 1 with suggestion 3 and press enter. That'll go off, make sure it meets the validation rules with the suggested reference number, which it does, and asks me to confirm. I've confirmed that, and I'm happy that basically cleared an exception. I now know I've got considerably more left to work on, rather than just that. So if I look at my outstanding exceptions, I'll go back to the one furthest back in time, batch 2931. So and once again, that then returns all of the detail. I haven't got time to deal with this today. I believe my colleagues in the Council Tax Recovery Department will have a better understanding of exactly where these need to go. So what I'm going to do is ask it to clear all exceptions in batch 2931 to suspense code PT1234567 and email the Council Tax Recovery Team Manager with this detail for their action, and enter. So what that's going to do is ask me to confirm. It will post the 3 transactions to the line of business ledger, which is the suspense item code. Please make sure you're happy with this request. I am. That's going to post all of the transaction to that, but also at the bottom, that pop-up, the email has been sent to that line of business. So once again, I have not left this screen yet this morning, and I've been super productive, which is great. So if I go back to comms, there's my automated email. Gone off to the team leader within the Council Tax Recovery team, actioning those 3 items within suspense in the council tax system rather than doing it within income management. And it can be facilitated in both. But one thing you can do is reallocate via workflow that work to the specialists in that particular subject. That's just some of the things that you can achieve using Access Evo. The limits are endless. If you can imagine it, creating your own MFE is a micro front end that has workflow behind it, then we can create it with you, and you can create it with us to make local authorities deliver services in a considerably better way than we have done historically. I'm looking forward to working with you. Cheers all. Bye-bye now.